Hey everybody, welcome back to another College Hacked Q&A. I am Dr. Clifford Stemme, CEO and founder, and this is Dr. Lauren Daly, our chief advisor. I feel like we could just do chief academic officer.
You usually say chief academic advisor, but it changes every so often.
That sounds like me.
I work here. I don't know.
You can pick your title. There's only a few of us in this company right now, so everything's kind of fair game.
That's right.
Yeah, we're going to answer some questions today that you guys have left in previous videos. You can give us more comments below this, and we will get to them, whether we respond to them directly or whether we talk about them in a video. We're also going to be doing a raffle for a free consultation with us. Both in the last video and in this video, these consultations are provided by other either viewers of the channel or people who have consultations with us, who are so excited about what we're doing here that they want to be able to make a difference in somebody else's life. So at some point in this video, we will talk about how you can enter this raffle as well. Any other stuff we should go over before we get to it?
Only that it's pouring rain outside right now, and so if you hear the rain, just enjoy it with us.
It's it's kind of like ASMR, sort of lo-fi.
That's what we do here.
We need some
college
lo-fi
and
music.
ASMR.
Well, it's a vibe.
It's a vibe.
We got a vibe today.
Full vibe. Coffee shop vibe.
All right. Game Brady 7533. Which site is better for someone with little to no computer programming experience, Study or Sophia programming classes? I've got a strong opinion on this one.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay, my opinion comes from, first of all, Sophia, but mostly just because it's less expensive and less pressure for you to kind of fool around and see if you like it. So this is like the ramp up to, am I serious about this versus I'm serious about this and now I want to actually learn quality things.
Yeah, okay. And Sophia has a lot of intro level classes, so you theoretically could get started with Sophia.
Yeah.
See how you like it. If you do like it, cool. Well, by the time you're ready for advanced classes, you're going to have to go to study.com because they're the only ones that offer them.
Yep.
But you definitely, I would say study.com, you're going to get more value out of that.
Yeah.
If you have little to no experience, you're going to learn a lot more. You're going to be held to higher standards, and those credits will go farther at different schools as well.
Agree.
WR3XKA. If I only have a handful of college credits, would it be a good idea to transfer to WGU for my bachelor's without having a Associates of Science or an Associates of Arts? For those of you who don't know, an associate's degree is typically the first 2 years of a bachelor's degree. It's similar ratios, right? Where it's like, what is it, like a third, 2/5 general education, 2/5 major area, and 1/5 free electives. Is that?
You bet.
That holds pretty true. So if you didn't know what that was, that's what that is. Yeah, just transfer to WGU. Just go straight to WGU. Why are you bothering with an associate's? The only time that you should ever be getting an associate's is if it's free and easy to get, like in Washington State, where basically every high schooler can graduate with an associate's for free.
Awesome.
Or if it leads directly into a career, like if you want to go be an X-ray tech and there's an associate's that'll let you get that certification to be an X-ray tech, then go for it. But if you're just getting an associate's because that's what everybody else is doing, or you're just going to the local community college, like, nah, just go to WGU. Just get started at the one school instead of having to worry about the transferring processes and all this nonsense. Yeah, don't waste your time.
Yeah, everybody's goals are different, so the associates might make sense for you. We're not necessarily saying never get an associate's, but more so warning people that maybe they don't know that you can go straight for a bachelor's degree, and that might actually be more time and cost effective than getting an associate's. But the question being, if you only have a handful of college credits, that's actually the best time to go to WGU because they don't have free elective sections and they have very small general education sections. So you actually don't usually want to go to WGU if you're trying to get a good return for a bunch of other college credit that you have.
Yep. And I know that WGU has deals worked out with a lot of schools where you get if you have the associates from this school,
programs, yeah.
It automatically transfers in as this. But if you do the math, it's very rarely going to ever transfer in as the full 60 credits that you earned for the associates.
Yeah, so you're just wasting time.
Yeah. Patrick Rainey, 305. Can you review Arizona State University in a more in-depth video? I'd love to learn more about it. Thank you.
You love ASU.
I have a huge soft spot for ASU,
You do.
partially because they do so much work online with YouTubers. They worked with Hank Green and SciShow and some of these other channels that are really focused on free education. And they have some really affordable options for earning credits.
Nice.
Now, unfortunately, when you actually enroll there, the credits do get a little bit more expensive than the average, and it's very difficult to hack. They don't like Sophia. They think it's low quality. They don't like study.com. They do accept CLEP, but you're only ever really going to be able to hack like a third of an ASU degree. That being said, if you want to go to an online school with a good reputation and reasonable prices, ASU is the way to go. So not super transfer friendly, a little bit more expensive than average, great student experience and reputation, degree flexibility and degree choice. Lots of degrees to choose from, but not so flexible in the degrees. They don't usually have a lot of free electives.
Isn't their graduation rate pretty good?
And their graduation rate, it has to be, right?
That's pretty good.
66.3%.
That's
for
really,
an online
Yeah.
school. That is like earth-shatteringly good. That's amazing. That's amazing. And they are like if you go to USA News Report or whoever it is that does the college rankings, and you're searching for quality online bachelor's degrees, they're always either first or second place.
Yeah.
But I think they have a little bit more of a social mindset, and so I always put them first.
Nice.
I think they're really cool.
Don Lepard, 7614. Do you have a video on bachelor's concentrations and if you think they're valuable? Purdue has one for project management. I took the first class of it and it was basically everything you learn if you take Scrum, all agile methodology. So there's a Scrum certification that he's talking about, which is a type of project management. I will say they did go over other methodologies and how they differ. I think my electives are maxed out just from all my transfer and stuff I did on Sophia. So adding a concentration would be on top, and I'm wondering if the payoff is worth the effort. What do you think, Cliff?
I feel like you have strong opinions on this one, so I'm going to defer to you.
He's like, you read the question, so you must want to answer it. Yeah, I do have strong feelings about this. So if we're talking about fastest, cheapest, our opinion is generally going to be that concentrations, which are like minors that you would add on to a degree, are going to be a waste of free elective space. Because ultimately what happens when you add a concentration is the school takes those classes, that space, out of your free elective section. So now you have less easy 3-hour Sophia classes you can do, and you have usually institutional specific classes that you need. But there's some situations where it actually can make a lot of sense to do a concentration. For example, at Purdue Global, if I remember right, their project management concentration is basically the project management cert. So if you have your PMP or you even have the Google project management cert, those just plug in as the whole concentration. And you can usually get a lot of those different like Google certs and stuff on Coursera. For their upgrade is $60 a month for unlimited whatever you want to take. So for $60, you can get like a whole concentration sometimes if it lines up right. So that would be the time when it makes sense.
I think that's great. Let's see if we can lighten some of these. The Bud Dex. Can you make a video on tuition specifically and how some universities charge per credit and some per term? Seems like per term is better since you pay less the faster you complete it. It's all about backwards planning and whether the school that does per term, like a subscription model, has the major that you want, has the classes you want, all this good stuff. But yeah, generally, if you pay per term and can go through as many classes as you want instead of paying per credit, it'll almost always be faster unless you just do nothing and just sit around.
Just depends on how much you can put into it. Yep.
Private guy 1015. I'm from the Dominican Republic. Which university, computer science, is the best fit for international students? Thank you. Great work you guys are doing. I think that if we're looking for cheapest and fastest, it's got to be Purdue Global, right?
They don't have computer science.
Do they not have computer science?
No, we wish that they did.
Oh, they have information technology.
The only CBE computer science is WGU, and they don't do international students. This is a huge hole. This is why we need UMPI to come out with computer science. So it would have to be a structured school.
If you can suck it up and go get information technology instead,
suck it up.
You could do Excel track, but you got a backwards plan, right? So
yes.
if IT doesn't get you where you want to go, they also have cloud computing and solutions and analytics and cybersecurity at Purdue Global, and they're global. They accept everybody, right? Yeah. So that would be like the one option.
Yes, it would.
At the same time, if you're not looking for competency based, you can also go to Thomas Edison. Their computer science degree, super hackable. Highly recommend.
Yeah.
And just do a consultation with us. We'll get you the right spot. We'll get you exactly where you need to go. We'll set you up for success, and you won't have to spend the rest of your life wondering if you went to the right college.
Sometimes I think everything that everybody needs is on the YouTube, and then I meet with people, and I'm like, oh man, but there's no way we would have been able to cover that on like a YouTube video. And I'm always reminded that there really is a lot of value in talking it out because you don't know what you don't know. Not just a sales pitch, but really for real.
Yeah, well, and even with a consultation, or even with the YouTube channel, I talk to people regularly who are like, yeah, I figured it out. I tried to figure it out myself, and it was going to take like 40 hours worth of work.
Yeah.
Just to do the research and put the whole plan together. And even at the end of those 40 hours, you're not fully confident you got it quite right. So that is what we offer. If you're interested, we would love to help you.
And that's where a lot of our raffles come from. People who are like, I don't want other people to have to go through this.
Yeah. Patrick Rainey 305. Question for the upcoming Q&A. I see on the internet a lot of people talking down on Harvard's extension school, saying it's only for people chasing prestige and that employers know it isn't real Harvard. My question is, do you think it's better to go to a school like ASU, which shows no indication of being online on the degree, versus schools known as online? So if your diploma would say Harvard Extension School or Arizona State University, doesn't mention extension or online or any other words like that. Which one is better when you invariably have to take your diploma into your job interview to prove that you have one?
Yeah, I mean, I think it all depends on your goals. I would say that the alumni network at Harvard is probably the one main selling point in my mind. Otherwise, to me, it does seem kind of like a lot of hassle for not like a lot of return, at least not these days, unless it's just like a dream of yours, right? There's intrinsic goals where maybe it doesn't make sense to others, but I want it. Yeah. So that would make sense. But yeah, other than that, I think ASU would be better.
Well, and I'm being facetious here because you don't have to take your diploma in. You say, hey, I graduated from, a Harvard school. You don't have to say it was the extension school. It might come up. You might feel slimy doing that. You don't have to. But like Liberty University has an online and a residential portion. Their diploma just says Liberty University.
Yeah.
And employers they're not usually coming in being like, oh, was that an online degree or was it not an online degree? Now, if you're coming in with the University of Phoenix diploma, just the name of that school gives people, a bad feeling. And some of these other really nasty for-profits, that is what's going to matter way more. Regionally accredited and not a for-profit.
Good accreditation.
Good accreditation, yes. Yeah, like we talked about in the last Q&A, good accreditation, not bad accreditation.
Yeah.
So hopefully that answers the question. I think the Harvard Extension School is very cool. I think you're going to be very challenged there, and I think you're going to deserve the Harvard word on the diploma.
That's true. I guess people might actually want to learn. That would be a good reason to go there. Yeah. I forgot about that.
And ASU is another school where you will learn. Like they are one of the they are ranked higher than a Harvard Extension School, or maybe the Harvard Extension School isn't considered. Anyway, they're ranked super highly, top 1 or 2. I think both schools would be really, really good, and both would have great reputations. Emily Birch. I am in my MPH, Master's in Public Health, program at LUO, and I feel like LUO, Liberty University, online. I love this. And I feel like they are the Chick-fil-A of colleges. Very helpful. That is hilarious.
It is hilarious.
I think she's probably referencing the fact that we call SNHU the Walmart of higher education.
I think so. She coined a new one for us.
Yeah, this is great. We're going to use this in videos so much now. And it's especially funny because from Liberty's campus, if you could throw a stick a mile away, you could hit like 5 Chick-fil-A's.
Yeah, the first thing off campus is a Chick-fil-A for sure. There's a tunnel underneath a train track from campus to the Chick-fil-A so that we could get there. I lived out there for 8 years, and almost every day I'd stop by that Chick-fil-A and get like a breakfast sandwich or something. It was great.
It was amazing. And yeah, they literally have a Chick-fil-A on campus.
In the gym.
Yeah, in the gym. You walk out of the gym exit and hey, Chick-fil-A, great. They might have opened another Chick-fil-A on campus somewhere. Like
we were debating about this.
We couldn't remember.
Can't remember.
But
we like that, Emily.
Chick-fil-A, thank you, my pleasure. Yeah, dude, Chick-fil-A.
They're so nice.
Chick-fil-A, Liberty, super nice, super helpful, and from the colleges we talk about consistently, probably the best customer service. Now, you are going to pay for it, but they have the best customer service ever. And they really will do just about anything.
They
really
will. They're so sweet.
Yeah. Rebecca8161. UMPI isn't what I thought. I have submitted my official transcripts from both Sophia and from my college and was told I had 23 classes left to complete my degree. Mind you, I have 83 credit hours completed through Sophia and have my associate's degree as well, which is 143 credit hours. That's a lot. Okay. Something doesn't sound right. I had my application withdrawn. And you know all about this from personal experience, don't you?
I do. This happens with most of our clients, I'd say, recently. In the last couple months, there's been a big uptick as UMPI spends the time and energy and money to onboard new people who've probably never done this before. There's going to be some mistakes that come from that. So the normal progression is you come and meet with me or Cliff for your first session, and we talk about your goals. We select a school and a major, and then we send you off to apply to that school and send your transcripts there if you have any. And then once you have that credit eval back, then we have your second session so that I can explain it. So what usually happens is people get their evals to their email from UMPI, and then they forward that to me, and the accompanying email says something to the effect of, oh my gosh, it looks nothing like what we planned. I have so many more classes than we talked about. I'm so confused. I'm not sure what to do. And then I get to say, okay, great, let's jump on a call. So then we schedule the second session, and then I can explain everything. What usually happens here is one of two things. Either the school has made a mistake and just needs to be gently reminded that English is not the same as History 101, and that they should take a second look at that, or the student has just misinterpreted what the credit eval says, or the overlap of what classes actually plug into that degree.
Do you ever send an email to the school saying like, oh, you need to put on your reading spectacles and
No,
double
because
check
that would
this
be
one?
condescending, and that's not helpful. But sometimes I really do. One time I did send a smiley face. I said, this, because it really was an English
a sarcastic
class.
smiley face.
It was like we're all in
friendly?
this together smiley face. You know what I mean?
You goofed. You goofed. I got
But
you.
I had to. It really was English for history, and
Yeah.
I was like, "There's got to be something happened here." Typo.
Yeah, like we talked about on the channel before, there's always exceptions to policy, and there's always mistakes in policies. And so, if you get stuck in a situation, we're always here to advocate for you. If you're signed up for, to be a client with us, but there's often ways to fix these problems when they arise.
Yeah.
Kiefer Young 1317. I'm about to graduate from SNHU with my bachelor's in communication studies. Would it make more sense to continue at SNHU to get my degree in business administration, or switch to a school like UMPI for that? Looking for the fastest and/or cheapest options.
Well, you know how we feel about second bachelor's degrees. So unless you've got a real specific reason for needing that second bachelor's, I think it would be better spent on a master's degree. But if you are going to do a second bachelor's, it's always easier to stay at the same school, in my opinion. But don't necessarily listen to me, because all 4 of my degrees are from the same school, and everyone says you shouldn't do that. So I just liked them, and they kept paying for it. What can I say?
Yeah. We had education benefits while we worked at Liberty, and I got 2 of my degrees there, and then 1 degree somewhere else. Fastest and cheapest, you're probably going to have UMPI, but if you're looking for business administration, you're not going to find a master's in business administration at UMPI. So there are other schools to look at, and I would definitely keep looking. As Oto157 dude, which of these schools have the best or most credible psychology, counseling, or behavioral health programs? Yeah, I guess, Lauren, if you were going to go get a bachelor's in one of these like mental topics, what school would you want to go to?
Best or most credible. It's so hard because everybody has such unique desires. If it were me personally, I already have 4 degrees, and if I for some reason thought I needed to go back for a bachelor's in psychology, I would probably go to UMPI, because I've already lived a good bit of life and I can just display that competency. If I was trying to learn really deeply and have a number of assignments that helped me manipulate the material in various ways so that I was learning really maybe deeply or for the first time, I would go to somewhere like Liberty or Thomas Edison.
And if you're really wanting a good educational experience, maybe even ASU.
Yeah,
Maybe
definitely.
consider them. The Pursuit of Greatness 916. What is the best school for a BS in accounting? No prior transfer credits. Probably not Liberty,
No.
because they don't accept a lot. But UMPI's got options. WGU has options. SNHU has options. Really, a lot of it depends on what you are looking for, because you're saying what is the best school. That could mean so many different things. And college hacking is all about backwards playing. Where do you want to be? What are your goals to get there? What are your values and how you get there? And then we pick the school based on those.
And I have to assume that you are probably going to go for a CPA if you're doing a Bachelor's of Science in Accounting and not Business Administration with a focus in accounting, which means you need 150 hours for the CPA licensure, which means it matters what state you're in. So the right school might also depend on what state you're in.
Yeah, there you go. It can be very complicated, but once you have that plan, it's worth its weight in gold, because you're going in the right direction.
Yep.
The Ghost of Travel. I'm undecided between UMPI and Liberty. I like the athletics program at Liberty. I like how Ghost of Travel. I think you're looking at 2 really good schools, but I do like how the only thing that you've noted as a difference between the 2 is the athletics program, which is especially funny because when we were at Liberty, the athletics program, it just took money from our
Trash.
departments being able to do cool things, and it wasn't that great. Men's basketball was really good,
Oh my
and the
gosh.
head coach, super cool guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, we just laughed at our football team.
Yeah, it was kind of
and
bad at that time.
They
but
tried to make us all think it was this great, exciting thing, but like,
the sports department itself was awesome. Like the all the outreach events and stuff they did to get everybody hype, and like they give out a lot of free tickets to try and get people
Yeah.
in the stands and stuff. I'm
the
glad that
staff
now
were
they're
better
good.
than the players.
Yeah, I will say that's true. But now we got name and likeness going. There's so much different stuff now. What a world.
Yeah. Both great schools, but again, it really depends on what you're looking for.
Very different schools.
One is going to be faster and cheaper, UMPI. One is going to be, a kind of a better educational experience with Liberty, and a better customer service experience, maybe.
Definitely.
Kitty Banks, can you make a video for those who want a more quality curriculum/education, but also hackable and perhaps on the affordable side as well, or maybe not so affordable, lol, but definitely hackable? Yeah, so we want a really good school that we can skip most of, and we're not worried if they cost a lot. And what would you say to this?
Wow.
I can't really think of a school that matches all those criterion.
I actually
Because
can't either.
generally, if you're going to have like a really in-depth curriculum/educational experience,
You're not hackable.
they're not going to let you hack as much because they built it. They want you to take those
I
courses,
guess this
right?
would be ASU
Maybe.
because they're really high quality and you can hack about a third.
Yeah, could be. Could be.
I feel like we're playing that game where it's the character you're guessing. Who's it?
Guess who?
Guess who?
Guess who? Yeah. Yeah. They've got brown hair and glasses and... Oh, is it
Exactly.
John? Yeah. Well, yeah, in this case, it might be ASU. It might be. Maybe Liberty or SNHU.
Yeah, Liberty if you're doing accounting, because now you've got to pay for every single accounting class, basically.
Yeah, no, that's a really interesting question.
2-session package. That's what we recommend.
Yeah, we'll help you find it. If it's out there, we will find it for you.
Right. Infrequent. Which one of these universities can I use with the Army TA since it only covers $250 times semester hours or $4,000 a year? I don't think I read that quite right. But all of the schools that we talk about on a regular basis have veterans benefits. So you can, even the competency-based, it's a little more confusing. It's non-traditional to do the paperwork and stuff, but it does work. We have lots of clients do it.
And UD Gonzalez 2351, do you work with veterans with GI Bill benefits?
Same
Absolutely.
idea.
Unidentified 2017. Does Grand Canyon University accept Straighter Line? We don't know. We don't know.
Degree form doesn't know. No
We
one knows.
cannot find any evidence of them doing it. They accept a lot of other non-traditional credit. At the end of the day, though, if they accept all the others, you don't really need Straighter Line.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't worry about it too much. Brandon Stews 238. Thank you for all the information you provide. I've decided to stay with you, MPI. I just have one question. What type of courses/credits are accepted as electives?
All of them. All the accredited ones. All
Anything-
the well-accredited ones.
Yeah, there you go. Anything that is
Good accreditation.
regionally accredited or good accredited should, if it doesn't filter into general ed or the major area, it'll go straight to the free electives.
Free electives are just open space where anything falls that's not being used somewhere else in your degree.
Yeah,
so.
it's like the school said, we really want them to learn enough to get a degree in business, but we also want them to learn a bunch of other random stuff as well.
Basket weaving is important too.
Yes, get some basket weaving in there, get some horseback riding, some bowling.
Yes, bowling. Speed walking. That's
Speed
my
walking?
favorite one that
Is
I've
that
seen
a
on a
real thing?
transcript. I've seen it on a transcript.
Class in speed walking?
They said they got really good at it and still do it to this day. It was awesome.
JJ Henriquez 2355. Hi, I'm from the Dominican Republic. Second to last question here, by the way, guys. I went to college for 3 years and I want to get a BS on logistics and supply chain management. Any recommendations? I mean, I would first of all go look at all the schools that we just talked about in the video that you're commenting on, which was the 7 best colleges for busy adults. But there's quite a few. I think you could probably find something at Liberty, SNHU, UMPI, WGU. Maybe Thomas Edison has something.
It's either them or SNHU.
Yeah.
One of them has it, one of them don't. I always forget which one.
But yeah, just go do some quick Googling and you'll find some really great options. And then, refer back to this video or that video and you can learn more about like what it's like to go to each school and what you can expect to be spending. Final question. You want to read it?
Sure. Quinnishala Calami, 7159. Hello, I'm working mother of 4 and I want to go back to school online and get my associates or bachelor's. What online school do you recommend? Because I want to test out and get my degree fast. My time is full, so I need a school where I can test out and get my degree while still maintaining my full-time job and household.
Whew. Yeah. I'll say first, we usually recommend being able to put at least 20 hours a week into college hacking. Maybe 15 for some people. But if you can't put in at least 15 to 20 hours a week, you're going to make really slow progress and it's going to be frustrating. So,
which is okay for Sophia, but more so like what school you're picking. When you're at the school, you want to make good use of your time. I think is what you're going for.
Yeah, particularly. Because you can stretch Sophia out for forever.
Forever.
But I would say, like a typical Liberty class, for instance, probably 10 hours a week per class, just about.
Yeah.
So, and if you're only taking one class at a time, that could take 2 years.
And it's more expensive because now you're part-time.
Yeah, and it costs extra, all this stuff. Like you want to be able to take 2 classes at once, which would be about 20 hours a week, so on and so forth. But what online school do you recommend? Test out.
It really depends, I think, what for testing out. I always think of Thomas Edison because they have their TSEPs. They'll let you take 4 of the 10 classes that you need through their school as TSEP exams as opposed to actual 12-week classes, which is a huge benefit. And then they also accept a ton of CLEPs and, lots of study.com. They're not big on Sophia, so they're study.com school. But yeah, so they're a good testing school. And then WGU, of course, proctored finals, so you can just test out of those. And those are blocks of 6 months, so that would be less stressful. You wouldn't have to get as much done in a short time frame.
Yeah. But honestly, if you set up a consultation with us, we'll find something that fits your lifestyle. We'll help you put it all together. I was just meeting with somebody the other day who said he only had 15 hours a week to give, and we were able to put together a plan for him that would have him graduated in under 18 months easily, but maybe even under 12.
Nice.
And if he bumped it up to 20 hours a week, I think he'd graduate in like 9 months.
Nice.
So,
that's pretty awesome.
yeah, that's what we got. And speaking of consultations, let's go ahead and give out our raffle.
Yes.
The requirement for this one, and keep in mind, this is all honor system because we really want to help people who actually need it. So if you've got $1 million or, I don't know, $100,000, and you're thinking about going back to college, this raffle is not so much for you. So we're going to do it in the honor system, but let us know why you need the consultation and tell us your favorite mythical creature and how you identify with it. Is that too
Ooh,
much?
no, I
Yeah?
like that.
Okay.
I like that.
Favorite mythical creature that you identify with and why, and then why you need the consultation. And we will pick in the next week from that. It's maybe not so much a raffle. It'll be more us just kind of like picking based on the answer. So, let us know what you got. We're excited to check it out.
Yeah.
Favorite mythical creature for you?
Oh my gosh. Putting me on the spot. I'm so not in that. How don't you say yours and then I'll figure out if I have one.
I think as a kid, it was always dragons, kind of like aggressive go-getters. They didn't mind having a little bit of spare cash laying around, which I like.
Am I allowed to say a Pokemon? Because that's a mythical creature, right?
It's not really from myth. It's
All right, I'm going to work on my mythical creature
Let's hear your Pokemon.
and bring it over next time.
What's your Pokemon?
You already shat on my Pokemon. Actually, I was going to say Wartortle because as a kid, my sisters and I all used to have names for each other, like nicknames, and mine was Lortortle because my name is Lauren. So whenever I think of like a monster that I relate to, that or Bowser, because that's my character in Mario Kart.
Yeah, so none of these are mythical creatures. They're all creations of Nintendo in the last 30
that
years.
should tell you a lot about my childhood.
That is amazing. I will not shit on that anymore. Thanks for watching, guys. We hope you enjoyed. Leave any comments that you have with questions or whatnot, and happy hacking.